Have you ever wondered what these little numbers mean on your car insurance policy? If you've never given it more thought than, hey, the lower the better, right? That's a 2-second thought that might cost you quite a bit of money. So let's talk about what these little numbers are and why they could be the biggest difference between I got good insurance, so this probably won't touch me, and wait, my insurance doesn't cover that? Today in your insurance tip of the week, know your liability limits.
So let's say one day you're driving in the rain, it's pouring, and your wipers can't seem to catch up. While you're playing with the controls, you take your eyes away from the road for a second, literally just a second. When you look back up, you see the big red orbs and you slam onto your brakes with all your might. Once the big shake stops, you look around, your airbags didn't deploy, and you think, oh, thank God. You think you made it, but then you look up and you see the car in front of you slowly rolling out. You think, oh snap, I guess I tapped them in the back? But tap or not, you couldn't stop in time, and you hit a car in front of you.
So let's take a look at a traditional declaration page, which is that document you get in the mail every 6 or 12 months when your policy renews. Right now we're looking at the coverage information section, which tells you how much coverage you have. For the liability section, which is of course if you hit somebody and it is your fault, in the state of Connecticut you are responsible for their injuries and their property. In this case, the first line talks about bodily injury liability for each person and each accident. If you hit that one person and the one person was hurt, the maximum the company is going to pay is $100,000. If on the other hand there were 2, 3, 5, 10 or more people, the maximum amount of money that the company will pay is $300,000. This will help you pay for attorney fees, go in court fight, or if it was your fault, pay for that person's injuries. The second section is talking about property damage to others. So of course, if you total that person's vehicle, or for example, if you run into somebody's house, and yes, that happens a lot, the maximum the company would pay would be $100,000. So in this case, that person has, you would assume, pretty good amount of coverage, right? You can hit a really expensive car and it could still be below $100,000. You could send somebody to the hospital and yeah, I mean, even though it's very expensive to go to the hospital, $100,000 seems like a pretty good amount of money. But the reason we want to make this video and emphasize on how important this is because in our state, the state of Connecticut, the minimum required liability limits are 25, 50, 25. Yes, you heard right. That means up to $25,000 for one person, up to $50,000 for many, many people, and up to $25,000 for property damage. Let's break that down a bit. So let's say that in that accident you hit a 2021 Hyundai Elantra right off the dealership, brand spanking new. That car can go anywhere between $20,000 and $25,000 according to Kelley Blue Book value. If you hit a 2021 Honda Civic, it goes up slightly, starting at $22,000 and going up to over $26,000. You see where I'm going with this? If all of a sudden we're talking about a luxury car, a BMW or a Mercedes, those cars can easily go into the $60,000 to $80,000 range and more. So the $25,000 coverage that your policy would give you really would not be enough. So at the end of the day, it is your decision. You get to choose between many ranges of coverage, and if you choose the lowest, of course the price would be lower. However, you would be surprised on how little of a difference it might make to increase your limits to a point where you would be more than secure. So, in conclusion, the liability limits you choose determine up to how much coverage you will have for a scenario where you hit somebody else, per person, per accident, and for property damage. So you should definitely be aware of your surroundings, know what the risk is, and know what you can lose. If you are interested in a no obligation quote, please give us a call at 203-803-2153 and we would be more than happy to show you a different range of options.